into data. All right. Now, for people that are just joining us for the first time, if you're just joining us for the first time, all right, let's get into it, guys. Now, who are we? What do we do? How do we help you? We are Amdari. What exactly does Amdari do for you? Okay, so if you're trying to transition into the tech field, you've been doing series of courses, you've been um, doing different things to get a job in tech. Amdari helps you with real world experience. So you probably already have the theoretical part of what you need to get a job. You've done your part of the training, you've done your training, you've gotten a couple of certification, you've probably done your masters, but you've seen already that right now the job market has evolved. Your certificate is not going to get you a job. Your certificate alone will not get you a job. What would get you a job is real world experience. And especially if you're in the UK, you'd understand that experience is one thing that you cannot negotiate with, right? Especially UK work experience. So Amdari helps you to gain the kind of experience that makes recruiters take you seriously. That's why we're here. So whatever projects will be presented today is literally our interns sharing their experience with you. So I would love for you to take time, listen to what they have to say, ask questions, and learn in the session. Okay, so who is Victory and who is speaking with you today? I'm Victory and I'm a data-driven growth strategist, and I'm also a clarity and a career coach. So at some point during this session, if you have questions to ask, I mean, I speak to a lot of clients. They usually have questions. They need clarity in their career journey. I'm that person that would be able to give you such clarity. So you get to speak to me for free on this call. You can ask your questions. You could get clarifications. Whatever you need will be provided to you in this session. Now we have Efemena. Who is Efemena? Efemena is the co-founder of Analytics and also Amdari. Now he's the likes of people with vast years of experience you're going to learn from during the program. All right. And what has he done? He has experience across data science, data engineering, business intelligence, and even consulting. Okay. So his wealth of experience is one of those things you'll be able to learn from, because the likes of Efemena will be a mentor for you in the program. All right. Now that's what Efemena does for you. So if you find yourself in any of these career struggles, right, you're here in this session, it's your first time, you really don't understand what we do, but you feel like we can help you in your career journey. Let's say you're a graduate and you're trying to break into your dream industry. Maybe you just finished school and now you're trying to get your first job, and you've seen that you do not have the real experience you need to get that job. Amdari helps you with that, and I'm going to share exactly how we help you with that as we proceed into the session. Another set of people that really benefit from what we have to offer are mid-level professionals. Let's say you're trying to pivot into a new field, or you're trying to transition, and now you're seeing that where you are and where you want to be, there's a gap. You don't have that number of years to start going to gain experience in a job, or start with in like you don't have that much time on your hands. You just need to get in as soon as possible. And that really helps you to gain that kind of experience that bridges the gap between where you are right now and where you ought to be in the next couple of years. All right. So that's exactly how we help you. Or let's say you're an immigrant, you're coming from an African country, let's say Nigeria, Ghana, whatever it case might be, and now you're coming into the UK, you're coming into Canada, you realize that things are a lot different um in the work corporate system. You're seeing that experience. You could literally have, I've spoken to clients that have had over 10 years of experience in Ghana or Nigeria, and they come to tell me that now they feel useless and irrelevant, because it's like if you don't have UK work experience, you don't have anything at all. So they'll literally go for someone that has at least 6 months of UK work experience compared to you with over 10 years of Nigerian experience. That's literally the reality of the system. So if you're in this kind of shoes and now you need to get a job, trust me, you don't need another certification, you don't need another training. You just need that experience. Experience, practical experience, and experience on paper. That's what you need to land the job. And Amdari helps you with that. So we would still go further into how we help you to get this job, and I want you guys to stay to the end of this session because I have something very special for you. Maybe you've been trying to get into this and now you've been holding back for whatever reasons. Abdari has something special, a very special offer for you. If you're on this call, just do well to fill the attendance form. My colleague has dropped that in the chat, and also ensure that you pay attention. So right now I'm going to call on Bukola. Bukola, are you here? Just give me a thumbs up. So she's going to share her experience with the project that we will be looking at today. So literally, they build a real-time stock market transaction pipeline using Kafka, Spark, and PostgreSQL. So that's literally the project she's going to be presenting, and you can get to ask as many questions as possible if you want to really understand what has been done and how it was done. So Bukola, just give me a thumbs up. Let me give you the space to share what you have. I think she was on the call a couple of minutes ago. Let's see. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, I think she dropped off. Hi, Bukola, can you hear me?
Sorry.
Busayo. Oh,
I
God,
was
I
about
think
to say, is it Bukola or Busayo?
it's Busayo. I'm so sorry, Busayo. Hi, Busayo. I'm going
Hello.
to pin you now. Yes, I'm so sorry about that.
Hi.
Welcome to this session. It's a pleasure to have you here. I'm excited to hear from you. Are you excited to share with us?
Yeah, a bit excited. Sorry about my
All right.
voice. I'm down with the cold, so I'm a bit cracked tonight.
I'm sorry about that. Okay. So I've stopped presenting and I'm going to give the floor. You go ahead and share what you have first. Then I'll come back to for every other person that's trying to get into the program. I'll come and let you know exactly how you can do that. All right.
All right. Thank you, Victory. All right. Hmm. Just let me know if you can see my screen now.
Yes, we can see your screen.
All right, thank you. So as Victor said, my name is Busayo from the UK. I'm in data engineering. Um, I'm doing my internship with Dari, and it's been a easy ride. I won't say easy ride, but it's been fun so far. So I'll be showcasing this project that I currently worked on. Excuse me. That's a real-time stock market analysis using Kafka, PostgreSQL, and then Spark. So what this project is all about is just to streamline the API call from Vantage API endpoint to get the data from there to Kafka, then stream the data from Kafka onto the PG admin. That's like a database, like a database where we can now connect our analytical tools such as Power BI or QuickView or any other tools we used to perform the analysis that we need to perform. So I will kick off by starting with the company that hosts this project. Actually, it's Market Pulse. They are in New York City and they specialize in real-time stock market analytics, financial forecasting, and trading strategy and optimization. So the main product of this company excuse me, is a real-time data streaming, custom reporting solutions, and predictive market insights. Also, the reason why they came up with this project was because of one, scalability. The current system they have is having had this issue that they could not really scale their products. When I say scaling, it's like when you're streaming like 1,000 data when you're streaming like a gig a gig of data, it's easy, but when it starts growing, and we know data grows like almost every millisecond. So as it grows, they were having issues of scalability, of having to expand their system. Like they need to break it down, then build it back up again. So they needed a system that we can actually scale. Say for example, they're using like a 1 gig excuse me, like there is a 1 gig compute, they need to upgrade this and maybe like 2 gig compute or 3 gig compute based on the inflow of data. And also the other reason they're having is data latency. All these all boils down to the scalability of the system. Once the system is just big enough to handle the inflow of data, there will be data latency. That means data will not be coming in as at when it is due. And we need something for real-time analytics. And also there is a demand from customer for more insights. Like the insights they are getting at the moment is not deep enough, or is not big enough for them to actually make decisions based on what they have. And aside from that, it needs to talk about the project rationale. Why do we actually need this project? Is it how do we go about this project? We need to do it by combining automation with streaming, like I said earlier, batch streaming, real-time streaming, then add it with visualization in your Power BI. All these steps, when they come together, they drives business efficiency and business growth. And having known all this, the issue, the problem, the challenges the company is facing, and what we are proposing for them, we came up with this objective. Okay, what do we need to give them? We need to build a scalable pipeline for them. We need to build a real-time reporting tools for them. That is Power BI connected to the PG admin. Then we need to also enhance accuracy and timeliness. This all this altogether ensures that they meet the objective that the customer, because the main reason why they are all doing this is for the customer to have the data they need to generate insights to make the accurate, when it comes to stock, we need to get the correct figures. We don't want our customer to be losing money here and there. So that is why we came up with this objective. And having come up with the objective, the next thing we need to do was to scope the project. Okay, how are we going to go about this project? So we need to we broke it down into 3 different parts. One is the data extraction. The second one is data loading and automation. Data loading comes with data transformation and loading together. Because once we extract data from the API call, it comes as a JSON object, and that JSON object needs to be broken down, needs to be normalized. Needs to be flattened. After flattening, then we need to normalize it by transforming the data, which include like cleaning the nulls, handling nulls, removing duplicates, and so on. And automation, and for the automation part, that's where the Kafka comes in. Kafka and Apache Spark. Kafka does the job of automating your project. By the time I go to my artifact, you will understand it better. And now moving further into the project, we needed to carve out the architecture, because without this architecture, you can't really know what you're building. Like we're building an ETL pipeline. We need to know how we want the data to flow. So like I said earlier, the data flows in from an API call, then moves into Kafka by a small producer script, which is the Python script, and PySpark picks the data from Kafka, loads the transformation, performs the transformation process and loads it into pgadmin. Then we can now connect our external analytical tool, which is Power BI or any other tools the company uses, and connect it to the pgadmin to get the data and perform any insights that we need to perform. And the beauty of this project is we had to build everything inside a Docker. A Docker is like a container, like a virtual environment. So you don't have to put much load on your local system. So it's like a virtual environment where you put in all the services you need to run. So that even when you want to replicate the whole process, you don't need to start installing different modules, different library in Python. All you need to do is just to have your Docker up, then run the Docker compose, and you're good to go. No need to build any other thing. And having done that, we have a technology stack, and that is just a further explanation of this architect. So, So from there, we have the orchestration and automation. That's when I was talking about Apache Kafka. It sounds like the backbone of the real-time streaming architect. It manages continuous data ingestion from multiple stock exchanges with high throughput and low latency. What that means is, if you have like I introduced at the beginning of this project, if say for example you have like multiple APIs you need to connect to get data from. You have API from say for example Yahoo Finance, you have API from Vantage, and we need to bring in the data from them. Kafka handles that in the form of topics, and by when I go further, you will see what I mean by topics. And then for the Apache Spark, like I said earlier, it is meant for transformation, and it's very good in doing batch processing. Like you don't have to it's good in batch processing. Like it can load like 1 million rows in like few minutes or few seconds. And also, like I said earlier, Docker and Docker Compose, that is where you containerize all your builds, and then you also helps automate your CI/CD product, your pipeline. When I go further, you'll go understand. And the final part is the GitHub. GitHub is just a version control. That is where you, when you write your code, you push it to GitHub, and then so if say for example now, like I created my, like I came up with my code, I push it to GitHub, I will need my team lead to actually review the code. And when my team leader goes to my GitHub profile and says the code, it can review it. And if there's any comments it needs to make, it can make it on there. And then from there, I can make the changes. And the good thing about that is every comment you make, it's like it logs everything, so that even when someone deletes something in your code, you will get the notification that sometimes been deleted and sometimes been updated in your code. That is what GitHub is all for. And for data processing and storage, that's why I talk about Python and Spark. That is the backbone of the whole process. Then PostgreSQL, which is the PG admin, like I said earlier, the data warehouse, the database or the data warehouse or data lake, sorry, Postgres, the database or the data warehouse or the data lake, depending on what we are doing. But for now, for this particular project, we are working on PG admin. So we are working on databases, which is the PG, which is PostgreSQL. And the last bit of the technological stack is the visualization bit, which, like I said earlier, also it's Power BI. And this helps us to provide a dynamic dashboard and KPI visualizations that delivers real-time market insights into market trends, stock performance, and portfolio metrics, and such like that. Having done that, our deliverables now, since we've known all what we need to do, our deliverables, like I said, it's just with Dockerized containers, your Kafka producers and topics, and like I was saying in your compose, this is the second backbone. Like Python and PySpark is the first backbone. Then we have compose, which is the second backbone. And compose is where you actually write your code, write all the code for your services. I'll show you later when I get there. And the other part is the Spark structure streaming jobs. That is your consumer.py, excuse me. That is consumer.py. Then the last bit that we need to deliver is our PG admin and our ETL loaders, then the GitHub and the real-time dashboard, just like I've explained earlier. Now, moving further into the main project. So this, the very first artifact is the Docker. And this is what the Docker is all about. So in the Docker, I mentioned something earlier about the Docker compose. So this one here, this bit here is the Docker compose. And what it contains is it helps you to create configuration for your services. Say for example, like Kafka now, I have my Kafka here. I have my image. Image is like when you want to install Windows, you definitely need an image to install your Windows. So this Apache Kafka is the image that I'm using to install the Kafka. And because we are working as a team, we need to create like a network so that everybody will be on the same page. That's why you have this network. And Kafka runs on port number 1992. And that's then every other bit, adjust the configuration settings for Kafka that will make it run. Then also, part of this, inside this Kafka, inside this inside this Docker Compose YML, we also have the Spark configuration. I have the consumer configuration. Consumer configuration is just like a Python script that actually pulls the data from Kafka into pgadmin, and the producer is the Python script that pulls the record from the API endpoint into Kafka. And once this has been done, all you need to do, once your configuration is set and your environment variable is set, all you need to do is just run your Docker Compose build up, and you have this bit here. You can see from here, everything is running here. And the good thing about Docker is if you don't need your service to run at a particular time, you can just pause, you can just stop the container from running, and when you're ready, you can turn it back on. Like I said, like, it's actually automated, but if for instance you want to do like a manual-ish, you can just come and just stop the producer, do any edits you want to make on your Docker Compose, your Docker Compose file, then click run again. That is all about the Docker container. Then next is the pgadmin. Now everything here is in the cloud. Like I was explaining earlier, when you have your ports, this port allows you to actually view the whole process on your web, on your browser, sorry. So for this, for Kafka, all I need to do is just to put localhost with my ports, and I'll be able to see the interface to see what is actually going on. And the next thing, this one is the pgadmin, where you have your data from here. I already fetched my data from Kafka into pgadmin. And during this configuration here, because I also need to configure for pgadmin and PostgreSQL, and that is when these two bits comes in. Now this bit is for, sorry, my apologies. So this is Kafka page. My apologies. So Kafka, this is where my data comes in from the API endpoints. Now, if you can see, I fetched record for 5 different stock symbols. And for each symbol, this is what, like I said earlier, it comes as a JSON file. This is what the JSON file looks like. You have your data, you have the open, you have the high, you have the close, you have the volume, and you have the time it was released. And this particular bit, this one down here is just a snip of my producer file, the Python file I was saying earlier that actually does the API call from Vantage API. And once this runs, it comes into here. And then one thing I need to mention about Kafka is Kafka works in topics. Like I mentioned earlier, that if you have like 5 different API points and you want to fetch record at the same time, all you need to do is just create multiple topics. Now, for this particular one, the topic A is stock intraday for 5 minutes, meaning I'm pulling 5 minutes intraday stock from Vantage to this particular topic. And for each topic, you have a message. So this JSON file comes in as a message and comes into the topic message. That's why you have the topic and you have the message here. And if, say, for example, I have another API, say API from Yahoo Finance, all I need to do is just create another topic and say, okay, Yahoo Finance daily topic. And once I put my API, it goes into the message. It goes into the message in the topic, not this one. So you can have different topics from different vantage points, and your consumer can pick the file and can pick the stream of data from those messages down to your PG admin. So that is all about Kafka for now. And next thing is the Spark. So Spark is like I said, is the backbone because it's actually the one that reads the data from Kafka and pushes it down into PG admin. So this is just a snippet of this particular one is just the interface, the UI interface of how Spark works. And you can see I have my worker because for every Spark master, you have to have a worker. A worker is actually like the backbone that actually does the job in Spark, for Spark. So this particular one, let me show. So this particular one is these two scripts. These three just they are one script. I just bring them out so you can understand. So this particular one on top, on the right side, sorry, on the left side, streams from Kafka, passes the data, and pushes it down to the loader. So this particular one down here is where you set that is where we set our PG admin details, because for you to connect to the database, you need to have a user and a password, and you need to have a database name. And this is what this does. So like I said, Spark picks from Kafka, then pushes it to the PG admin. Then the next page is my PG admin. Once the job is done, it pushes it down into PG admin, and here is where you have the PG admin. And when we were configuring our compose YML, we need to set up the database, because it won't be fair, because we say you want something automated. It won't be fair to say, okay, it won't be fair to say, okay, you need to create your database again. So everything has been set up in the compose file. In the compose file, I have this particular one, which is the servers.json. So for pgadmin to run, you need a server first, and inside the server, you need to create a database. And this creates a server. So by creating this JSON file, I can have as many servers. Like I said, if you're picking for 5 different API points, you can create 5 different servers for them. That is, if you want to have different databases for them, then we have create 5 different servers. So we can use one server and create different databases for them. It depends on the configuration. But for now, we're just taking with one database and one server. So this creates the server. Once you run Docker Compose at the first time, it just needs to be run once. This creates the server, and this particular here is a DB init SQL, which automatically creates your database and your table. And that is all about PG. Once this has been done at the first run, then producer can pick the file from the API, pushes it to Spark. Spark transforms and load it to pgadmin, and that is the job done. And once that is done, once all my code is running, all I need to do is just to push it to GitHub. And this is what a GitHub interface looks like. I'm sure all of us knows what GitHub interfaces look like. So this is just it for version control. And another thing about GitHub is there's always a README file where I have all the documents I need, like everything I did, how I went about it. If someone wants to replicate my project, what can the person do? What is it supposed to run? Is it supposed to have a virtual environment? Everything is listed in the README file. And last bit is the Power BI dashboard. So this connects to the pgadmin database and fetches the record. And from there, you can just pull out your record and perform any analysis you want to do. And that is just a brief history or the brief story about the whole project. I don't know if I'm too fast, but that is just it. Hello.
All right. You have a couple of reactions in the chat. That's if you can see it.
Oh wow,
Thank
I
you so much for your presentation. Yeah, you actually do have a lot of reaction. Please, does anyone have a question for Busayo? You have question, you need any clarification based off the project that has been presented, or if you need anything, please raise your hand and I'm going to acknowledge you. You go ahead and have ask your question rather. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Ready? Okay. Okay, fine has his hand up. Yeah.
Yeah, Busayo, wonderful presentation from you. Thank you very much. I learned from a couple of things from what you talked about Kafka and how it connects to PySpark. So my question is, I believe during the course of working on this project, you had some issues. Maybe the code was not working, or you are trying to do something you thought that would work and it did not work. So can you just in a brief minutes tell us how you were able to um overcome those challenges, like those bugs or those issues that you were facing when trying to build your projects? Thank you.
Thank you. If I, that's a very good question, and I'll first say shout out to my team lead because I was when I first started the both projects, I was having issues connecting to Power BI. I was using the wrong port, and like I said earlier, this the whole project runs on the web. You need to have a port assigned to it to run on the to run on the web. So I was having issues connecting Power BI to the PG admin. My mistake was I was using the wrong ports, and if I had not asked my team lead, I wouldn't have known. So I was able to ask him and he was able to give me, okay, this is what you're doing wrong and this is what you should do. And when we did that, it worked perfectly fine. Then the other thing I had issues was when I was building the consumer, it was a bit difficult. I'm not going to lie about that. It was a bit difficult, but my team lead also has been very good help. And aside from him being very good help, I was able to get other resources online because he shared some links with me, like on Medium, where I was able to read up and actually get the code working. I think just to build a code or to run codes, it's not something you can do by yourself. Fine, we have some geniuses that can actually do that, but it takes a lot of teamwork. And aside from teamwork, you need to actually go online and read more about the project, see what other people have done, and see how you can improve your code. And that was how I was able to get past through it. I don't know if that answered your question, if I.
Yeah, thank you. I did.
All right. Does any other person have a question for Sayo? Do we have any other questions? Do we have any other questions? Okay. Please, if this is your first time joining Amdari session, you've never heard about Amdari before, this is just your first session with us, please give me a thumbs up. If this is your first time, all right. I'm pretty sure you're loving what you're seeing. So if you want to get on board, you feel like this is something you would love to get your hands on. Maybe you're tired of watching tutorials, you're tired of trying to figure it out by yourself. Amdari is here to help you. So why do our interns thrive better in the job market? Okay, Augustine, you have your hands raised. You can go ahead. All right. You can go ahead, unmute yourself. Hello? Okay. I don't know. I think that was a mistake. So why exactly do Amdari interns thrive better in the job market? I'll give you a couple of reasons. Because these projects are real business problems. They're not um they're not open source projects. They are projects that simulate actual business problems. Okay, Olumide, your hand is raised. do you have something to say? Do you have a question? You can go ahead and
Okay,
ask.
good day, everyone. I hope you can all hear me, please. Can you all hear me, please?
Yes. Yes, we
Oh,
can.
fine. Thank you. I want to appreciate Busayo for that wonderful presentation. I really learned a lot for that. But quickly, I want to ask, can Busayo please tell us a bit about her background? She has possibly whether she has a tech background or something like that. And secondly, I want to find out if she was familiar with some of those tools she used in the project, like Kafka, Spark, and Postgres database. Was she familiar with some of the tools, or she learned them on the internship and she picked up the tools and she ran along? Thank you.
Hi, Busa. I think you can go ahead to answer that question.
All right, thank you, Victory. Excuse me. Thank you, Olumide. Really, I have a tech background. I've actually been a data analyst for the past 8 years, so I'm well versed when it comes to Power BI and SQL. But when it comes to Python, PySpark, and Kafka, during my I did my master's in business analytics and big data. So I had a little bit of experience using Spark, but not in details because I don't want to go into that for now, but not in details. But when I joined Ten Analytics for the first program, data engineering, I picked a lot on Python. Actually, I've actually been learning a little bit of Python before I left Nigeria back to, down to the UK. So I had a little bit understanding, but I wasn't really using it that much in my previous job. But when I got here, I started building on Python, learning myself how to code and the likes. And when I joined when I joined Ten Analytics in the first place, I learned a lot when it comes to Python. I was able to like build codes by myself and do some other projects, personal projects by myself. And then this internship, what I've learned, what I've picked on this particular project is Kafka, because I've never really used Kafka at all, not even for once. So this project actually made me understand Kafka, and it's actually been a very exciting thing. And maybe because I have a technical background, it was easy for me to actually catch up on it and then get it working. So I don't know if that answered your question, Olumide.
Yeah,
Hi,
thank you so much.
Augustine. You can ask your
Yeah, I can hear you
question.
now. Okay, good. Can I ask a question now? Can you hear me, please?
Yes, yes, you can.
All right. So to the presenter, I want to know, like someone that has you said you came to analytics. I could see the whole game from data working out to the level of this very presentation. So, is it possible that Amdari could be able to deliver a novice in the field, at least to be able to catch up with all of this within the short time? Or is something that has to take
Sorry, I'm not
significant?
hearing you. You're not so audible.
Okay, okay. Um, Let me remove it from my iPod. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Hear me?
definitely.
Okay, beautiful. So, what I'm asking is it possible that one has to pass through Amdari to learn all of this stuff within 6 months, or 3 months as you proposed, or it's okay to go through analytics before coming to Amdari? And secondly, I want to ask, in the process of him generating all this code, is there any evidence? Because he made mention of you need to get he collaborated with experts in the field. Does he have any iota of using like AI in generating the codes based on what he wants to do, or it's basically people that are experienced in the field that generated it without an AI? So I want to know if AI played a role in making this happen. Thank you.
Busayo, do you want to answer that?
I will try my best. Then I will let my team lead. I hope he's on this call to finish up the bet. So the first thing I will say is for a novice, I don't know how Amdari works because I'm just interning here for now. But for a novice, I would advise you to go through 10 analytics first because they will actually take you through the basics of what you need to know. Then you can move on to do the internship with Amdari, where you actually get your hands on real life projects where you can actually put what you've learned in 10 analytics to work. I don't know if Amdari has like 6 months or 12 months. If they have 6 months, then I would advise you to actually go for the Amdari 6 months because I know from just working on the project, I've learned a lot. So if they are giving me 6 months, I'm very sure they will definitely put you through the basics first before actually before letting you put your hands on real life data. And as for the AI bit, I will lie if I say that AI didn't play any role in this bit. Like when I was like the very first example I made when I said I was having issues connecting to Power BI in the first place, I tried using AI to actually solve it. But because AI doesn't know, because I always try not to put my environmental variables or anything I'm doing inside ChatGPT or Copilot just to avoid any breach. So I was unable to actually get it working until I spoke with my team leader. So AI really did play a part in it. But I won't say it generated my code for me because I actually know what I am doing. So I generated my code. And like I said earlier, I made mention of having to read resources online. Like I went online to actually read, like if you go on Medium, you'll see so many examples of people who have done the projects. Then you can look at their code, look at what they are writing. And if it's something you see in their code that can actually make your own code work, you could pick a code from there, transform it or tweak it to the way you want it and make it work. So definitely we're in an age where we're in the age where AI we cannot say we can't use AI. We definitely have to use AI. But the thing is, you have to know what you're doing before you can put AI into what you're doing. Otherwise, you'll just be doing shitty codes and the likes. So that is just the bit I can say. So I will just leave the floor open to my team leader to give you a final answer to that.
All right, Augustine, has that answered your question? All right.
I'm good, yeah.
All right. Does any other person have another question?
Yes, I have a question, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm Victor. I'm migrating from a different field altogether into project management. But I wanted to find out if in the course of doing an internship with with, is it Amdari? Amdari. Is it Amdari?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. In the course of doing the internship with you, if you are going to help your learners on hands-on softwares like Asana and the like. That's my question, please.
Sorry, Victor, can you repeat that? I didn't really get your question.
Okay. My question, I have a basic knowledge in project management,
Okay.
but we are talking about doing internship with your system, which is Amdari. So
Okay.
if in the course of the internship, is your main focus on helping your learners on hands-on practical experiences so as to develop them into uh, becoming job market ready.
Yes, that's exactly what we do. So we help you to gain practical experience working on real business problems in the form of projects. It means that um, you'll be working on real life projects, working with real tools, and also you'd be gaining practical experience. It's not a training, you're not going to get to work with to learn these tools from scratch. So since you have foundational knowledge, it's already a good thing. All right. So it's already a good thing that you have practical, you've already started doing your trainings, So right now, when you come on board, you're working on at least 4 to 6 real business problems. Now, these projects are well structured and also well tailored to helping you gain the necessary skill sets you need to become job ready. Okay. So aside from the projects that you're going to be working on, there are other aspects of what Amdari does that helps you become job ready. So like I mentioned, you'd work on these tools like Jira, Trello, all those project management tools. You're also going to be working in teams because you're not working by yourself. This is also for every other career path: data engineering, data science, data analytics. You're working with all these tools, you're working in teams, and also you're working across different industries. Okay, you're not just limited to a particular industry, because when you're applying to jobs, you can't limit yourself to just one area. You need to spread yourself across. You need to be able to apply to jobs across different industries. Okay, so this is for the basic, the project-based experience. The other side of things is the employability skills. You are not just going to you're not just going to be working on this project alone. Like, you need to be able to present yourself on paper, that's your CV, that you're actually good at this stuff. Because your CV is the only way you're going to land an interview. Your CV is the only way that you'd have a chance to speak with a recruiter during an interview. So we also revamp your CV and we help you with optimizing your LinkedIn. Recruiters reach out on LinkedIn a lot. The only way they can reach out to you is if your CV is well optimized. So at Amdari, you're going to get that LinkedIn optimization, CV revamp, even interview prep sessions. That means that we don't just wait for you to get an interview to start prepping you. We'd still prep you when you have an interview, but typically you'd get one-on interview prep sessions um with your employability specialist. You're also going to always have a team lead, someone that is responsible for someone in charge of your project, someone you could reach out to when you need support at any point in time during your project. So these are what these are the things involved with the program. Now, we also present you with a reference letter. Let's say you're trying to get a job in the UK and you already see that you need reference. Reference is very important. So Amdari provides you with a reference letter, and you could reach out for reference even up until 2 years after you're done with the program. So we don't just, once you're done, we don't just discard you and say, no, we're done. No, you could reach out for support. Let's say on the job support, you land a job while you're in the program. We can still support you. You need reference letter, we'll still be able to provide that for you. Let's say you're done with the program, you still get to join an alumni community where you are still interacting with some people from the program. So we don't just let you guys go after everything. You would still receive the necessary support. So at the end of this Amdari work experience internship, you'll be working away with a portfolio filled with actual real projects that you could literally showcase to a recruiter if you need to. All right, Augustine, your hand is raised. I believe you have a question for me.
Yes, please. Yeah, thank you very much. I really want to ask again, based on what you just said. Like, to be frank, I think what the founders have done so far in United Kingdom. I mean, a lot of people have gained jobs, opportunities with sponsorship here in the UK. I know a whole lot of them. Unfortunately for me, I couldn't complete data analytics because of my job schedule is so tight, but I hope to do that someday. So now I want to know, let me be straight. Is it possible, like, I know some companies do that, but I don't know if Amdari does that too, like helping a candidate, make the CV right, get the CV right. Now, the next thing is get the LinkedIn page right. Thirdly, have the candidate apply for jobs, based on the field he chose, then prepare the candidate for necessary interview. Then if the candidate gets the jobs, and then help the candidate to early start to settle in the job and continue training while he's on the job. I just want to know if actually Amdari does that. Yeah. And also
Yes.
for the reference again, I don't know, most often in this part of the world, companies will have to send a reference to you Dari, let's take I apply for the job, and after getting to the final stage, the company will send a reference to you for you to fill my reference and make your own recommendation. And you also said about a reference letter. Does it mean the one the company is going to send to you for my own reference, or already after finishing the program, you give me a letter of reference that yes, Austin has done this, I've done that, I've done that. Can you still support in writing my reference and put me as being part of people that have worked with Amdari and created impact or what, and can be able to stand for me during referencing? Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for your question. So yes, we would be able to do that. So the referencing can come in different forms, right? Sometimes they might require a contact as your reference. We support you with that. If the company wants to send us a letter or they need us to write anything on your behalf, we would still do that. If it's a situation whereby you need a reference letter in itself, we are still going to support you with that. So it doesn't matter however it comes. All of this support still happens because we want to help you get a job at the end of it. I'm very registered in the UK. We're also registered in Canada. So from based off our interns that have been able to land jobs, yes, the reference is actually very much acknowledged. Okay. So I think your first question was I'm trying to remember. I lost my train of thought.
Like supporting the candidate from the beginning till the end,
Yeah.
going
Yes.
through, yeah.
Yes, we do support you from beginning to the end, right? So if you have, let's say you have a project at hand and you have your team, for each project there's a project training session, so a two training session rather. So let's say you're working on a data analytics project and you're using Excel, Power BI, and let's say SQL, for example. We walk you through how to use this tool to solve your project first. So it's just to put everyone on the same page, right? Because I mean, you could be good at Excel, but it's been a while since you walked through SQL, or maybe you do not have SQL, you want to install it. So all these different things to put everyone on the same page. We have to walk you guys through the two training session, or you guys actually start working on the project. Okay, so any session you miss, let's say training session, mentorship, whatever it is, because all the sessions are typically at times that work for everyone. It's a very convenient time. But let's say for anything you miss it, it's recorded and you'll be doing all this work on the Google Classroom. I'll show you what that looks like towards the end of my session. So the Google Classroom is where everything is uploaded at, and you can literally watch it whenever you want to. You watch the session and you reach back to your team lead for support. Maybe you have a question, or maybe you just need some extra support because you were not available. They will be able to provide you with that support up until you're done with the program, right? So even after, like I mentioned, you'll be part of an alumni community where you can still interact with some of your team, just people from the internship in the same community. That's basically what it is. So yeah, you're going to receive that support throughout the program. I don't know if any other person has a question for me. Have I been able to answer your question, Augustine?
Yes, you have, but I would like a line to communicate other questions, personal ones, possibly subsequently. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Toby, if you're on the call, please drop the customer support line in the chat so Augustine can also reach out to one of them from there. All right, thank you. Okay, so let me go ahead with it. So how exactly can you gain this real world experience? What exactly do you need to do? I've already listed the career paths that we focus on. So if you find yourself in either data analytics, data science, data engineering, business analysis, SOC, ethical hacking, GRC, or project management, if you find yourself in any of these career paths, you can benefit greatly from this program. All right. So the success stories, who are the people that have been able, we've actually been able to help a couple of people land jobs, a whole number of people. And that just tells us that we're doing something right. And it also tells us that what people are learning from the internship is actually it just validates the work that we are currently doing in the program. All right. So this is an intern, Francis. Francis got a job with Deloitte in the UK, and you could listen to all the testimonials I'll be sharing here. They're all on YouTube, YouTube and Instagram, right? So you could go watch them, you could listen to them, and also hear directly from the interns. All right. So we have a couple of more success stories. Sorry. We have Dora. Dora got an offer as a compliance analyst in the UK while she was in the work experience program. So typically, we have interns getting jobs while they are still with us, and we still are able to support them on that job while they are with us. All right. So we have Lauren. Lauren got a job as a business analyst in the UK during the work experience. I keep mentioning that they got their jobs during the program. So in as much as this is something that if you put your mind into this program, you're doing exactly what you need to, you would be able to benefit greatly. Now, when it comes to applying for jobs, we do not tell you to wait until you're done before you start job hunting. If you're actively job hunting, we encourage you to apply to as many jobs as possible, at least 5 in a day, while you're in the program. If you get a job, you could now, if you have an interview, you could reach out to the employability specialist to support you with interview prep, and you get prepared for that interview. So that's how these people have also been able to make good use of the program. All right. So Peter, you have a question, you can go ahead and ask.
All right, Victoria, good evening, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me loud and clear.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, you're doing a good job. I mean, really, really good. Um, yeah, I think I've been in maybe a few of your section, maybe not I'm there, maybe just directly to analytics. Um, although I joined late for this one, sorry about that. So I'm in a bit of a limbo now, I would say. Um I have maybe not a knowledge I could bank on in terms of say um I can be able to do a project. So I have a couple of trainings in a data analysis, maybe you want to say data science and also project management. Okay, so but I'm leaning towards the data analytics now. So I haven't really done anything about say projects that I will not say I have a portfolio or something like that. And then if you give me anything now, maybe I will need to go and listen to my maybe 5 hours, couple of long videos, recording something like that. So now I don't know if I should say I want to go start with analytics, you know, or I should come to Amdari and then maybe there are some things I can be able to, use to brush up myself and pick up, kind of because my time is not that long. I'm checking by sometime September next year, I will be in a very, very big condition of sponsorship. So I want to be able to sort out myself before then. So that's why I'm just thinking. I don't know. Please, if you can help me out, thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you so much for sharing. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but I'd just love to ask you right now, as you are right now on this call, how many percent would you, let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, how well do you think you know your tools, or how well do you think you really understand data analytics?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes,
Don't,
as a
don't
cons
think too much about it. Just
no,
whatever comes to your mind.
yeah, I get you. See, as a
Yeah.
concept, as a whole, I
Mhm.
understand what it's about and what I can do with it. See, I've been in a section, but that company, what they do is SQL 5 hours class on Saturday, the next Saturday another 5 hours class. You have that recorded. And Power BI 2 5 hours class, 2 Saturdays, you have that one. And then Python, the same thing. So I'm very, very active when it comes to classes like this, and I learned what they were trying to do at that time. But after the whole recordings, they now directed us to what's it called, Forage, to go and do one Tata project like that. So I got confused. So I wasn't able to do anything. So Now, if you ask me to do something, not like maybe I will not be able to do, I might just go and listen to the recordings, you know, aggregate functions, group by. I can maybe remember all those things lightly, but I cannot say I can be able to do a project from start to finish, like end to end, something like that. So that's it.
All right. All right. Thank you for being honest, right? So, since you already have some kind of foundation, it will be it will be good for you to just go ahead with the internship. Why am I saying so? There's this thing about thinking you need more training, right? If you already understand your fundamentals, like you know what this thing is about, you probably, let's say you even know SQL, but you don't know Excel, or maybe you know Excel, you don't know SQL. You're just you know some parts, but you don't know every other thing, right? If you're ready to put in the work, you can actually go ahead with this program because now, if you have a project and we're telling you for this project you're going to use Excel, you're going to use Power BI, and you know Excel, you don't know Power BI. Before you even start a project, your team lead will do well to run you through a couple of things, right? For you to understand what you're doing. Even crash courses would be available. So now it means that for you, you are learning while doing. You're not just doing endless training. And it's really going to save you a whole lot of time because going back to start a training, you're looking at spending at least 3 to 6 months starting a training. I don't know how much time you have on your hands, right? But 3 to 6 months starting a training, coming back for an internship, you might want to spend another 4 months, looking at a year for something that you already started at some point. So right now, you just need to make up your mind that okay, you might need to put in extra efforts, right? Because here you're cutting a whole lot of back and forth, right? We're giving you clear roadmaps, clear steps, clear direct projects that simulate like have actual business problems. You're doing this thing and we are even preparing you for the job market by revamping your CV, optimizing your LinkedIn, and all this other good stuff I mentioned, right? So you doing this thing, it's going to reinforce something in your brain whereby now you feel more confident in it. Because right now you don't sound so confident, but it's like you know this thing, but you've not really done much with it, so you're not sure if you really know it. It's everyone was a beginner at something at some point, right? You just need to make up your mind. So when you're presented with a business problem, now you're not just learning one part of it too. So the thing about theoretical learning is that there's no context. And it's one problem that affects so many people. It's a major problem in the educational sector right now. There is no context. You hear things like when you see this, do this. When you see this, do it like this and all of that. When the situation actually comes, you now see that, oh, the processes are not processing, if that makes sense. So it takes you actual experience for you to know how to do something. If you think you can watch a YouTube video to learn how to cook, I'm here to tell you that watching YouTube is not going to teach you how to cook. You need to get in that kitchen and start tossing some pans, because if you don't do that, you wouldn't know how many minutes to put the water on fire. You wouldn't know when to turn in this, when to add this, and when to add that. But in YouTube, everything is looking simple. Is it not to add spices? Is it not this? Is it not? Until you do it, that's when you're sure that you know how to do it, right? So that's what happens with experience. And that's literally my honest advice to you. If you're ready to put in that work, I'll just say, don't go back doing another training, right? Just put your head on in the project and put your mind to it. Just do the stuff, do the hard stuff, right? Cut yourself some slack. Like time, there's no time. Before you know it, we're in a new year, and that's the time you should even like. This is the time companies are hiring right now. They're hiring. They're looking for um candidates, right? So you can already start gaining this experience. So you start applying to jobs and you get what you're looking for at the end of the day. So I don't know if I've been able to give you some insight to answer that question, but I really hope I have. All right. So I see a couple of hands up. So who was I speaking to? I think it's is it who was that? Okay, Peter. All right, that's great. That's great. Thank you. So I see Olawole. I cannot pronounce your first name, so I don't want to murder it. So I'm just going to call you Olawole. Please go ahead and ask your question. Then we'll go to Arthur before I go ahead to presenter I have. Can you unmute yourself? I think it's Ishak.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Good evening. Good evening, Mark. Please,
Hi,
can you
good
hear me?
evening.
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
Okay. My question is like, I'm seeing more success stories about landing a job in UK. So my question is the only UK you guys can land a job? Like maybe my preferred country is maybe another country apart from UK. So is it only UK you channel the energy to like land the job, or you can channel to another country like maybe Canada or something like that?
Are you in Canada? Let me ask.
No, I'm not in Canada. Like I'm in
Okay.
Nigeria. So I'm just
Okay.
asking. Like I'm
Yeah.
seeing more success stories about only UK, like
Yeah, I
landing a job in
understand.
only
I
UK.
was just asking. I understand. So here's the thing.
Okay.
Yeah, we are not tied down to location. First of all, we're not limited to location. We're trying to get your experience, right? So it's more like to this like proof that we're doing something right. Okay, we are not we when they come on board, we don't promise jobs. It's more like the fruits of your labor at the end of the day if you're doing the right stuff. So for your question, why is it mostly tied to the UK? Honestly, majority of our participants are in the UK, and the way the system, the way everything is a little bit tied, arranged, structured is around the majority of people that join our program. But that doesn't mean that we focus only on guys in the UK. If you're in Canada and that is also registered in Canada, we could give you reference on your CV. It would be that you worked with Amdari as a consultant, either in whatever country you're trying to apply to. So that's Canada or UK. But we don't limit our services to the UK or to Canada. So if you're trying to get a job, experience is
Okay.
the important thing. So if that experience we are giving to you, okay, and if you're in Nigeria, whatever African country, it's an international kind of experience because
Network.
these guys are they just
Huh?
want to know. Can you hear me?
The network is bad. Yeah.
Sorry, can you guys hear me? I think I'm audible.
We cannot hear.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right then. All right then. So so that's basically it. Yeah. I hope I've been able to answer that question. I saw two hands up now, and I can just see
All
nothing.
right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, man.
Okay, you're welcome. I think it's Arthur. Hi, Arthur. You can go ahead with your question.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for this session. It was quite insightful. My question actually is for Busayo. I'm not sure if she's still here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. That was quite impressive. I'm curious, from the start of this project till the end, I'm curious to know how long roughly did it take you to complete?
Thank you for that, Arthur. I would say I spent roughly 3 nights on it because I actually have my daily job I work on. So I spent 3 nights, and like I said, with the help from my team lead, I was able to get it up and running within those 3 nights.
Okay. Okay, including the version control on GitHub, right?
Yes. So for the version control, I actually started when they introduced the project. I created my folder. So if you go through my if you go through my GitHub, you'll see my very first commit when I first pushed it the repo in. Then the second commit was when I actually worked on the project and I pushed it in. Then the third commit or the fourth commit was when I did some extra changes, and that was it.
Okay.
Everything is recorded on GitHub.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, what's your GitHub name?
I could share it. Just bear with me a second. Let me see if I can get it now.
That's fine. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll share it in the group chat.
All
That's
right. Thank you.
right.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. I hope that has been answered. Do we have any other question? Author, I think your hand is raised again.
Yes, sorry. Today I saw that Amdari is doing a Black Friday.
Yes, we are. So that
Ah,
was what I was saving for later, but I mean we're getting to it, okay? So
okay.
if you've been
The-
trying to get into the program and you're like, oh, finances maybe your finance is a challenge for you.
mhm,
Honestly, now is the best time. Since the last time we did a discount like an actual something like this was around I think May, and people have always been asking when next will we do a discount, when next will we do an actual proper discount. So now is honestly that opportunity for you. So I think I will just go ahead with my session, so we just get straight into the good stuff. Okay, all
mhm.
right. Yeah, thank you, Arthur.
Uh,
So we still
okay.
have these are just success stories, right? Everything is on our YouTube, everything is on our Instagram. If you're trying to quickly, if you're trying to listen to people that have been able to get into this session. 1 minute, guys. If you've been trying to get into any of this, right? So we have a whole lot. Now, this is cybersecurity intern. He got his first job in cybersecurity on the program, and he was super excited about it when he reached out to his specialist. Okay, we also have we have an intern that used one of his projects he presented in this kind of session for his interview, and everything just, I mean, it was an impromptu interview, and he was able to just fix up one or two things in that project slide, and that was what he used for the interview, and he got his job. We also have someone like Vivian. She got over 3 job offers in the UK from the program, and she shared with FMNA. So we have a cohort for November. That's our next cohort starting. And if you're trying to get on board, there's like the best part about our November cohort right now is that you can get on board at the cheapest rate you ever find Amdari work experience internship. And instead of paying, I mean, before now it was around £390. Right now we are at 299. Let's just make it £300. So it means that you can get on board with the program for this amount, and you could all the installment plan is still available. So you could spread across these installments in 3 months of 100. You start with 100, then you do 99 and another £99. Yeah, I think okay, 100, that's how it is. 100, 199. So if you're trying to get on board, this is literally the best offer you're going to find for the Amdari work experience internship, because we're doing a an early Black Friday offer. Okay. So if you're interested in data analytics, data science, you've heard so much about this program, you've heard about the different success stories, you want to gain real world experience, you've been trying on your own and it hasn't been working so far, why not come into structure? Let us help you. Let us give you the kind of roadmap that you would need to get to exactly where you're going to get. The truth is that there is no time again. There is really no time. Instead of you going around in circles, you've seen the success stories. All these people can't be random, right? So why not come into where they have done this thing with people before and they've given results to these other people? Let us help you. So my colleague is going to drop the payment link in the chat. So if you're interested in joining the program, you can go ahead and secure your slot, because this is a very limited offer, guys. Once it's going to be like a flip of the switch. You're not going to see it at this price anymore. Get back to our price at would revert back to our actual price. Okay. So if you're trying to get on board, there is really no need to waste time on it anymore. We want you guys to benefit from this as soon as you can. So Olushola, you have a question. I believe you can go ahead and ask your question. Hi, Olushola. Okay, can you unmute yourself?
that all right?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Yeah. Yeah, like me now, I've not been in this field at all. I'm just a beginner, and I've not even beginner. I'm just listening to all your section, some of your section when I have time. So I've been finding it very difficult, and I'm afraid in that how do I cope in this aspect? Once I don't have the experience, the practical experience, I don't have it, and the theoretical experience too, I don't have it. So it seems to me it's very difficult. So I don't know what I can do, or how can I be fit? I mean, fit in.
All right. So you mean you don't yet have the theoretical experience, neither do you have practical experience. That's what you're saying.
No, no, no. It's only the one I'm just using as when I'm working.
Oh, okay. All right. What career path are we looking at? Is it data analytics?
Yeah, data analysis. You're right.
Okay. What tools do you use at your workplace?
Oh, actually, I work in hospital,
Do you
and
use SQL? Do you use Excel? Do you use Tableau, Power BI?
I think we use SL.
Oh, okay. All right. So it means that might still need some kind of training, okay?
Okay,
Especially, yes, right? You need a very strong foundational knowledge in whatever you're trying to come into. So we have a sister company called Analytics, all right?
okay,
And they deal with training, strictly
okay,
training, all right? There's also a way you can, I mean, depending on the plan you're going for, I don't really know about their plans, but it also involves the internship. So at some point, they might end up transferring you back to Andari for like a 2 month internship or three,
okay,
depending. Okay, so how can you get in touch? Let me see. There's, I think you can search for Analytics online.
okay. Tenor list. Yeah,
I'm going to
I think
type it in.
I've been seeing there. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. Analytics. I've typed it in the chat.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen it. Yeah, right. Yeah, I
Exactly.
got it.
So
I got it. Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you.
So you can contact all their numbers, they are active. So contact anyone, they'll be able to provide you with support. So I believe that's the first step. Foundational knowledge, very important. Okay. So
Okay.
once you uh, get that right, then from there every other thing is going to be easier to pick up. So thank you. I've answered your question, yeah?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you very much. Honestly. Yeah,
You're welcome.
yeah, yeah. Right.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Before I come to Pupula, I'm going to take Peter. Hi, Peter, here again. Just to confirm, please, will I be getting help regarding learning materials and coaching if I need a brush up just in case? Yes, you would. Yes, you would be getting crash courses. So this is different from a training. Do you understand? So if you're trying to brush up, you're trying to refresh your memory, yes, we do have materials that will be shared with you to do all of that. We even have a place on our website um for crash courses. Okay, so you're going to be provided with all of that and also coaching and support from your team lead with that aspect. You also need to be ready to put in the work from your own end. So you need to be able to dedicate your own personal time. It could be after work. Let's say you have a project and you have your part of that deliverable you need to work on. Please, you need to put in the work so you'll be able to see the results. Because the truth about it is that we can only do our best to support you. We're not going to force you, we're not going to hold your hand. Like, this is, we'll try our best, but if you are not ready to put in that work, then there's really nothing there's no visible results you're going to see. So just make sure that you are also able and available to put in that work for the program. So, Olushola, your hand is still raised. I don't know. Did I hear from you? All right, you're welcome, Peter. Olushola, is that a mistake? Your hand is still up, or I don't know if I heard from someone else. Yeah. So like I mentioned, it's a discount that you would not want to miss out on. So if you're trying to get on board, Toby, please drop the payment link in the chat for people that are ready to secure their slot. And also, if you need to speak to somebody, you need to book a clarity session, you need to get more information about what I have just shared with you today, she's also going to drop that in the chat. All right, so I'm going to show you guys something very, very important. Aside from every other, all the good stuff I've mentioned, I want to show you more good stuff that Diary does for you, right? So we provide you with a portfolio website. Now, we all know the importance of having a portfolio website. Now, if you don't understand the importance, I'm going to tell you. You need, if you're a professional, especially in tech, you need to have a place where your projects are being showcased. Okay, you need to have like a portfolio that shows these projects. You're working on projects, but you have where to showcase them. We give you access to a free portfolio website, very easy to use, user friendly, and all you need to do is to edit the necessary parts of everywhere, right? And you could share this project, this portfolio on whatever platforms you want to share it on, LinkedIn, Facebook, WhatsApp. You could even copy this link, add it to your CV, so that when you're applying to jobs, you recruiters can see what you can do. That's literally it. If you're able to show a recruiter what you can do, you don't have any problem. So you're either able to show that on your CV, you're either able to show that during the interview or on your portfolio. These are just the ways you can show that. So another thing you need to know is that we have a job board. So right now we added a very, very sweet feature to this job board, and this job board contains jobs across different platforms like LinkedIn, GitHub, Glassdoor, Simply Hired, and all of that, right? Now, the sweet feature we added to this job board is if you're looking for specifically visa sponsorship jobs, you could literally switch the tabs here, and all the jobs you would be seeing here are with companies that have a license. Okay, so I've spoken to a number of clients, and one thing they're all looking for is, oh, I need sponsorship. How am I going to go about it? I need a job that will pay me around 41K. I need this, I need that, right? Now, come gain the experience so that because trust me, when it comes to sponsorship jobs, it's easy to say I need one, but I'm going to tell you that the competition is fierce. You need to be good at your stuff. Your CV needs to be up to par. That's why we do not just leave you at project experience. We want you to get a job. We will make you job ready and still provide you with the necessary support to land what you're looking for. Let me see, do I have access to this? You're also going to get access to the Learn platform where you're going to be learning, and you'd have crash courses on there, and you'd also be able to gain one or two skill sets. I think I saw someone's hand is raised. If you have a question, please go ahead and ask your question because we're about to call it in. Does anyone have a question for me? Does anyone have a question? Do you have a question? So I'm going to show you guys, going to show you what the inside looks like. So I've been talking about using the Google Classroom. Olumide, hi Olumide, you can go ahead and ask your question. Hi Olumide.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, I just want to ask quickly, please. The discount you are running at the moment, the promo for data analytics specifically, how long is it for? 3 months or 4 months, please?
You mean how long the discount is for, or how long the
I mean the
internship
program, the internship, how long will it be for? Because on your
The
website I saw 4 months, and somewhere else I saw 3 months, so I'm kind of confused. I don't know how long it is for.
Okay, I understand. So Amdari right now is doing a very, very huge promo. So even for this 299, typically it's supposed to be a 3 months program, but right now you're going to get an extra month free. All right, so it's a 4 months program at 299, and it's going to be a very limited discount that I can't even tell you how it might be for the next 48 hours, for the next 24 hours. We just want to get people in the program so that at least by the end of the year we hear more success stories of people that have been able to either get jobs, or people that are able to say that right now my confidence level is at 100, depending on compared to when I joined the program. All right. So it's a 4 month work experience, and you're getting it at £299 instead of £500 at the moment. Have I been able to answer your question?
Yes, please. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Does any other person have a question for me? So let's say you want to speak to someone, you have a question, you need more clarity. My colleague is going to drop the clarity link in the chat. You could also make payments, because when I hear um when I hear about when I hear good stuff, free stuff, I like to hop on it as soon as possible, because you never can tell. So if you still need to speak to someone, right, you can book a clarity session. My colleague will be able. Toby, is she here? Can you drop the clarity link in the chat so that any other person that wants to get more clarity about the program can be able to book for a session where we grant them more clarity. Okay. All right. So does any other person have a question for me? Because I'll be dropping off in a couple of minutes. And do we have any other questions? Is there a specific time the phone number can be called? You can call it right now if you want. Okay, so you could reach out, and please let them know that it's from here that you got your information, please. All right. All right. Do we have any other? All right, Arthur. Does anyone have a question for me? Any other questions? Peter, your hand is up. Sorry, I missed that. Can you go ahead and ask?
Yeah, thank you very much once again. So this one is very straightforward. It's just I would like to know the schedule of the program in terms of in the week, what do we do, and so on. Can you just elaborate, please? I missed it. I know you have it.
All right then. So it's first of all, before I even go ahead to answer your question, it's flexible, right? Because majority of the people in the program are either 95ers or people that are currently in school trying to use Amdari as a placement, or people with businesses. So these are busy people. Your day might be busy, right? So most of whatever sessions you might have, like there are two major sessions you really need to pay attention to. That's the drop-in sessions. So drop-in sessions are where you and your teammates come together to discuss what happens on a project, where you guys are. Your team lead is there to also lead that session. So that happens twice, 3 times in a week, depending on the time you all agree on. And you also have 2 training sessions. That this happens before the commencement of a project. Now, this session is where you get to understand how to use the tools that you'll be using for a particular project. After every project, you are going to have a presentation with your teammates in front of a panel. So it's like you're coming to do some kind of reporting. So you create, just like how Busayo did today, you have your slides, you have your teammates, you guys are coming to, we bring you an external stakeholder panel, so you get to present to these guys. All this in summary is just to help you build your skills, right? So on a personal level, you should be able to dedicate at least 2 hours of your time to your deliverable, because every project has a timeline, every project has a structured deliverables. It has things you're supposed to do to get to where you want to get to that project. So you need to be able to deliver on that, so you're not holding anyone back. All right. So that's basically it. Before you guys even come on board, everything will be well explained and dissected coming on board with the program. Does any other person have a question for me? I'm going to be dropping off soon. Any questions, any clarifications? Do you need any more question. So if you want to book a clarity session, you want to have a one-on-one session with me, you can book for that session. Let's have a conversation. We get more clarity on what you need to do to get on board and how you can also get on board. Lumide, you can go ahead with your question.
Okay, thank you for having me once again. I want to say quickly that I hope to join the next cohort. So I want to ask, what date is the next cohort starting?
Okay, that's the
Then
November 4th, yeah?
let me ask all the questions you can give a response at once. Then the next question is for the next cohort for data engineering. How many projects do you think will be done in each cohort within the duration of the internship? Like, how many projects are we going to be doing? Then I want to say finally that I hope one day while going through the program, I will be able to present my projects like Busayo did today. Thank you.
Yeah, Olumide, don't worry. You'll be able to do that because we give opportunity to everybody, right? So it's good to know that you're already forward thinking. I like that. All right. So the first question, right? When is the course starting? I need to make sure of that, but I know it's in the first week of November. Toby, do you have that date? Do you have the exact date? I think it's on the 6th or the 7th of November. Just going to make sure of that, so I give you an okay on the 8th of November. So that's when the cohort is starting, but I can't guarantee that you get the discount up until the 8th of November. So it's more like an early what's it called, Black Friday kind of thing. So you might want to just hop on it. Then for your second question, trying to remember the second question. This is why I wanted to take you one by one. Well, could you just say something around the second question again?
How many projects?
Projects, yes, don't worry, I remember. So now for the number of projects, right? Everything cuts across every career path. So 4 months, 4 to 6 projects, depending. You can just put it at an average of 5 projects. All right. So there's an option for you to extend how long you want to have your, if you want to do another 4 months after the program because you want to gain more experience, you could resubscribe and do that. All right. But that's the number of projects you're going to be working on, and they would be very interesting projects that you would not regret having on your portfolio. I hope I've been able to answer your question. 46, that's like a range I'm going to give you. Hi Olumide, can you hear me?
Yes, please. I got that. That
All right.
is a good one. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, guys. In the absence of, does any other person have a question? Do we have any? We've already spent 4 minutes into the session. Do we have any questions? Do you need any more clarification? Okay, guys. So in the absence of any other questions, I'm going to call it a day or an evening or an afternoon, depending on wherever you're joining me from. So please have a very wonderful day ahead. Thank you all for your time. Thank you for